DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, as you can see, it's pretty cold outside. Well, it's not that cold if you're in North America, in the northern part. But it's around freezing, 0, 1 degree, something like that. And yeah, just walking around as it's been raining and kind of drizzle at times. So I'm just walking around. You're starting to know this place around the pond, which is close to where we live. Makes me kind of smile. It's like when you watch a taxi vlog from Andy, you know, when you see the airport. I kind of smile because I think, like, every time I see the airport over there, I'm happy because I know that he's made a good fare. Well, at least most of the time when you see the airport, that means he's had a good fare. So I guess, you know, that as many of us, you know, over years, we walk along and we see where the other person is and we get to know it. You know, it might be your living room. It might be a place, you know, where you drive and like to vlog or whatever. I mean, I've tended to vlog a lot of places, but some people always vlog at the same place. Yeah. So it's a Sunday. This morning was, well, we had church and had a online church service as well. It was good, but we had the kids over yesterday. It was Three Kings, Epiphany. There's different names. Little Christmas, and Mrs. DC had made a kind of what we call a Christmas cake. It's more like a sweet bread, and you put little. Over in Canada, we would put peas or beans in it, and that whoever got it would be the king or queen. Mrs. DC has some little plastic figurines, and one's a king, one's a queen, but you know, we usually fix it so that the grandkids get it, so that's okay. So we had that. My daughter-in-law, she had made a Spanish style bread / cake called a rosco, I can't remember right now. It was really nice. It's made like in a donut shape, but it's big. It's quite big, and so it was good. Yeah, so they stayed over, but they left this morning before church. She wasn't feeling. She had a headache or what, and so she said she didn't really want to go to church that way. She wanted rather to go home and rest. So that's what they did. So yeah. Anyway, so but it was a good weekend, and my son was working at the weekend, but he has different hours. So I think it was starting in the afternoon, like some like 2, so he was able to take care of them up to then. Yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, I'm just about here on the other side of where we were walking. I always like walking around here. There's just, every time there's something different. It might be a bird, it might be a cat, the people walking their dogs. I just kind of wonder, you know, it's maybe one of the things that when you are coming up to a certain age, you sometimes like to do a bit of people watching and stuff like that. That's, yeah. Somebody once, there was a joke out there. I can't remember who put it, but it was it typically was one that you'd see a lot in the Swiss social media. It would be showing the surveillance cameras in England, where they were all over, and there was some in New York, and then you'd have a balcony somewhere in Switzerland, and it'd be it was always an old lady, whatever. Could be an old man, but it was always an old lady they were showing, and they were saying surveillance cameras, Swiss style, low budget, but just as good, something like that. Anyway, it was kind of an amusing little picture, but I'm certain actually that many countries would have that. You know, the person next door that is looking out on what's going on in your part, at your home or something. You know, that happens quite often, doesn't it? There was a story over here about somebody that caught doing that. Again, it was, sadly for the stereotype, it was again an elderly lady, and she had noticed that one of her neighbors, who would drive a company car, was regularly home early, and she thought, oh, maybe I can get a reward if I write to that company and say that this employee of theirs, which was her neighbor, this employee of theirs is skimping on time with his company car coming over to his house. And finally, well, actually, she got the wrong end of it. Actually, he was allowed to do part of his job at home, which he was doing, and he also had some of his stock at home. So the guy actually sued her for defamation or something like that. So finally, the guy didn't have any problems because he was just doing his job, and she got fined. That was in the newspaper the other day, where they were saying, you know, that you might want to be a whistleblower, but be very careful which whistle you are blowing on. And I kind of find that amusing because we've talked about this so often, how social media is a mean place, and there's a lot of fake stuff going around, or close to defamation. People have learned actually to be close but not quite, but you know, mean stuff going on, and just, you know, bending the truth. And let me say, before some of you get into saying, oh well, it's all these type of people, it's all the others. No, it's on each side of the so-called political aisles that this happens. It's a human trait. I've known more people, actually, in a way. I have a lot of friends that are left wing, and they tend to want to teach you how it should be done, giving lessons, as we'd say. And my friends on the right wing, or the more conservatives, maybe myself actually as well, we tend to believe that, well, you know, you can talk, but we know what's right. And at the end, sometimes, very often, both of us, I mean both of each side, tend to be condescending, actually, because of course we know that we're right and that you're wrong. When I was in, I'm gonna check the time. When I was in high school, it was a very, very big thing to learn how to debate and learn how to disagree while debating, but to accept disagreement without, like I say, we were trying to do this, but without diminishing automatically the other person's point of view, because we knew that we would probably learn something. First off, the art of debating, that was one thing, and the other thing is that it was very important in a way to know that no matter what you think, there's very often another point of view, and the fact that there's another point of view means that you might have missed something when you thought you were right. Yeah, I mean, it was a big thing. In today's world, it's much easier. If someone doesn't think like you, we will either cancel them or diminish them in a way that destroys them, if possible, and just go all out to nuke the person to prove that we are right. I mean, just look at how many people have been canceled, or how many things have been canceled which are part of history. A good part of history, sometimes not, but still a part of history. Yeah, anyway, so it's been up to 10 minutes. I'll stop here. You can always tell me what you think about it. And I'll be DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and hope you have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.